All right, guys. One Eye Bry back to talk about Walker Stalker 2018. I'm home now, and I'm still feeling like I'm moving on the boat. How about you? If you were on the boat, let me know. Post your comments below. There was close to 3,000 of us on the boat. So if anyone's watching this that was on the boat, post your comments below. I probably walked right by you. But one of the coolest things that I have to say before I talk about my experience on Walker Stalker 2018, the third cruise of this Walker Stalker cruise, some cooler stuff happened to me off the boat or had nothing to do with the boat. Well, I guess somewhat had to do with the boat. Was seeing New Orleans. Didn't really see much of the city. Had to fly in for the cruise, but got to the port easily. Uber was pretty awesome. Had two great Uber drivers in New Orleans. And then I met, Dianca, Didi from the Walking Dead community and the channel, the PT channel. Very cool to meet you. I was sitting there on the floor. She's like, Brian. And she was right there with her son. Got to meet Didi and Jacoby. And it was very cool. It was a very cool experience. We were talking a little bit before we got on the boat, the ability to go on the boat. The port was pretty cool. You were indoors, unlike the Miami port. Difference. So I don't know about you guys, but if you were on the boat, I still feel like I'm moving here. It's still, because it was rough seas. And I know it's not Walker Stalker's fault or Norwegian Pearl's fault or what it was. It was just the weather. So I'm not holding that against them. But what they could have done a little bit is had all the panels be inside. Now, they had a lot of the panels inside in the Stardust Theater, but the one panel, the two panels that were outside were the Robert Kirkman, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Norman Reedus panel because they had to take the picture. Now, it was this picture right here. And I don't like it being black and white. The other two were in color, but it's a pretty awesome picture. And I like it. You get to see everyone in the background. I'm way in the back. You'll never see me there. But it was pretty cool. That's who was on this cruise. Some people had to drop out like Greg Nicotero, but that opened up for Jon Bernthal. And it was pretty cool. So the picture was pretty awesome. They had to do it a couple times. And I have video of all that. So the video that we're going to do, this one is just me talking about it. But the future videos, I'll have panels. I'll have breakdowns of it. I'll have a bunch of different things, what it was, my experiences of it. But this is my first video being back. And when we got to the port, the New Orleans port, they gave us one of these and this guy. So I got a lot of paperwork here. It was this. And they gave us a lot of stuff for telling us what to do. And the rooms weren't ready till 2 o'clock, but we got on about 12:30-ish. And it was pretty cool, the experience of that. My room, though, the bottom drawer was broken. So that was weird. That was already broken before we got on the boat. The seal of the door wasn't solid, so light was getting in, and you could hear all the people on the boat walking by the door. And I don't know if it was the people on the floor, if they were passing through, but they were pretty freaking rude. And they showed you the stats of the new cruisers. It was new cruisers, second-time cruisers, and three-peat cruisers. I'm one of the three-peat cruisers. I've been on many cruises before. And I don't know if it was the new people on the boat or people that just didn't care, and they were disrespectful. They were loud as crap at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. It was just, they were yelling, they were this, they were banging on the door, it was just being rude. They were just terrible people, inconsiderate people. And that happened all around the boat where people would just cut you off or walk this way. And it was just like, man, inconsiderate, they just weren't decent people. And you're like, if the world falls apart, you're going to see how people are going to play out here too. So I got some good material from my book series on how people would really see on there too. But here is the deck plans of it. Pretty cool to see that they give you a variety of different restaurants that are included in your packages. So you could have went to the Garden Cafe, O'Sheehan's, Indigo Dining, and Lotus Garden were the 4 restaurants that were included. The Garden Cafe was the buffet. Now the buffet is basically the same food every day. They didn't really mix it up too much. Dinner was different than lunch, but it was the same food from the previous cruises. They didn't really do anything too much. They also gave you a survival guide, which was pretty cool. And it was one of those things where they talked about Cozumel and the different zombie gra, Fright Night, Light of the Living, celebrity photo ops, what to do. And we got a picture with Jon Bernthal and then Ezekiel, which I'm trying to get the thing downloaded, but it's not online yet. So once I get it, I'll put it in the videos and have it for you. But it was pretty cool to experience the cruise for 3 times in a row. My first cruise with the Walker Stalker was my favorite cruise with them. It's progressively got different and changed. They, as a 6th-man person, I have bronze status, which you have to sail for 30 days to get silver status at minimum. And the things aren't really that great for it. But as for this stuff, though, it was pretty good organization overall, but the weather was really terrible. You'll see in the panels that it was very windy. It was cold. It rained a couple days, so they had to bring a lot of stuff inside, and the panels were much better inside, except for the one panel, the Robert Kirkman panel, where someone had to walk in front of me. I was recording in the middle seat all alone, perfectly fine, and these 2 guys had to come down my row and make me stand up so they could walk in there to go. They couldn't go around. They couldn't do anything, but whatever. It was annoying. But either way, we got New Orleans to Cozumel and then back. It was rough seas, man. People got sick. The cast got sick. Ross Marquand was supposed to do a panel with Tara and Jesus, so Alana Masterson, Tom Prane, and Ross Marquand, who plays Aaron. He was supposed to be at that panel. He got sick and couldn't do it. But the panel was pretty good with Tara and Jesus. They gave us this pretty cool artwork here to hold your photo. So it's empty, but it's what this was in your room, and everybody got this. And it was, I like the picture of all the cast, but I don't like it in black and white. And this is pretty cool. A lot of artwork of the comic was in here. It was probably more comic based because of Robert Kirkman being on the boat, but that's pretty cool, man. That I have to say, especially what's been going on in the episodes as of late of season 8, the comic, it's pretty cool. I just like that, right? That's just a good shot. They talked about it a lot in the panels. Kirkman is staying strong about it makes sense for the writing of season 8 for it. The gift that we got besides the picture is this. What's this, right? You're like, what is that? To me, it would be awesome if it was a meat poncho. I don't see that anywhere. Someone wants to make a lot of money, make some Walking Dead meat ponchos, zombie poncho things. But this is a raft for your pool. It says Walker Stalker on it. It's red. I got the belly flop contest. I got some good pictures. If you're following me on Instagram at the PT channel, you'll see some of the pictures already. But, we got, these are our gifts. Yeah. So we got the belly flop contest. I got all the panels. It's a good guy panel, a bad guy panel, an Ezekiel panel, a Jon Bernthal panel, which is pretty awesome. And Jon Bernthal, I have to say, I saw him a lot this cruise. Got a picture with him. I got a video where he walked right by us. Aaron and Ezekiel were they're coming in for their photo ops. I was in a perfect spot for the video. It's awesome. Check that out. I posted that yesterday. Check me out on Instagram. And when we were going through, I was getting ice cream at the soft serve ice cream machine. Jon Bernthal came up with his son. We thought it was his daughter or whatever, too, because there was 2 kids with him. It might have been another celebrity's daughter. But Jon Bernthal only had his son. And Bill, he was calling him Bill a lot. So I don't know if he goes by Bill or Will or Billy. But Bill is what Jon was calling him. And Jon, it was pretty cool. He came right up through in the cafeteria. They went right over to the ice cream thing. Boom, the little kids got ice cream. And then they left. Jon didn't get any ice cream. And so he was definitely jacked and muscular for the Punisher role. I don't know if they're starting filming yet, but I would assume so. And he's got a picture with him. He walked right by us. We saw him in the cafeteria. I also saw Aaron walk right by us in the cafeteria. And they don't eat in the cafeteria. They go to their rooms and they are, away from everybody. But their coolest thing was actually at the last day when we were flying home. And I'm at the Southwest ticket counter, and I got to get my ticket, my actual paper ticket, because I checked in online, but I need a boarding pass. So I see this woman walking with a little kid, and I'm like, holy crap, that's Alana Masterson. It's Tara. And I hurried up to the kiosk, not knowing that I walked right by Jon Bernthal, who was at the kiosk getting his own ticket too. Because when I go through the ticket, and the New Orleans airport is really small, we were in line to go through it. So Jon Bernthal and Alana Masterson both flew Southwest. I have another picture that's of Dwight, Michael Traynor, who plays Nicholas, Tom Payne, Ross Marquand. They're all in the same flight to Los Angeles. Norman and Diane flew to Georgia separately, which is pretty cool. So give me a follow on Instagram. I got some great pictures on there for it. But so going through security, and I'm like, oh, Atlanta and Marlo have to come this way. So they did. They were in the priority going through. I was in the general. I got basic. I'm a nobody, so I got basic boarding pass. And so Atlanta and Marlo, they go through there. So they're behind me. And then in front is a guy walking with this big white cowboy hat. Of course, you spot him instantly because it stands out, and it's Jon Bernthal. The funny thing is that he's coming through, and he goes to security, walks over to the security guy, and the guy for TSA who's checking IDs is like, I didn't call you yet. And John's like, okay, I'm going to back up. So he had his friend that was with him and his son. And so they backed up a little bit, and John was talking to a couple people. And John wasn't liking the rocking of the boat. He said it in this panel. I'll put that up probably later this week. And he wasn't having anything to do with that. He walks there. They go through security. He's got to take his cowboy hat off. He takes his boots off, which a funny story is those are the Shane boots from not probably the same boots, but maybe a different pair of the same style, a different make of them. But they're the same thing, and they zip up. And he wears them in the Punisher. But they're the Shane boots. They're not Punisher boots, which is pretty. He wears it all the time. He wears it in all the stuff that he can with the action. Everything is pretty funny. Goes through security, puts his hat back on, and him and his son walk through. And then I saw Marlo, because I'm stuck in line. I'm watching everything as it happens. I couldn't take too many pictures. I got there far away, and they're not the best. So I'm going through, go through security, and then I see John on the phone. And I'm wearing this beanie because in my video, when he walks by us, and check it out, he goes, I like that hat. He's talking right about this beanie. He's looking right at me when he says it. There's no one out, people with a hat around me. He says, I like that hat. And it was me. And I was like, oh, it's pretty awesome. And that was when we were doing the photo op. So that made my day. That made my cruise right there. And then we're going through security, and I go through, and then Jon Bernthal's on the phone. We're walking by him, and his son's kind of running around. It was pretty funny. And then I see Atlanta Masterson where they're going, and my area for my flight was booked area. The seats were taken because the flight was going. It was a previous flight that wasn't mine, and my flight wasn't for like 3 hours because I had to get there early with the Uber and everything. But so I sat in another gate, and it was actually their gate. It happened to be the New Orleans to Los Angeles Southwest. So I'm seeing Jon Bernthal, his son Bill, Atlanta Masterson, and Marlo interacting. The kids are running up and down the aisle of where the walkway is, right in the terminal. And you're like, man, this is crazy. Like, I'm just sitting here watching this. Like, is this real right now? And then Bill and Marlo are running around, the little kids. They're playing. They're having a good time. Atlanta Masterson and John are talking, and they're doing this, and they're walking around. They threw out a piece of trash like right where I was sitting. It was just crazy. And then they get on the plane. John and his friend and Bill, they had like premium top A boarding. Went through and sat down. Alana and Marlo, they were waiting for the kids to board, the family boarding, and they went on, and then they were there. There was also a guy that I got a picture that was sitting. He looked exactly like Rob Zombie to me. He had long black hair, skinny guy, black sunglasses. I'm like, that's got to be Rob Zombie. So I took a picture. I'm like, holy crap, that's pretty awesome. So I'm sitting there doing that, then waited for my gate, went back to my gate, sat there, got on the plane, and flew home. So, but that's my quick story of it. I made it back alive. I got some videos up before I left. I made a video when I posted that I could, and this is my first video back in there too. I know the Last Stand artwork, I put that up everywhere that I could before I left. The synopsis is out. A lot of good stuff is going around for the second half of Season 8. I got some information about it, got some panel stuff. I got good news and I guess bad news about the second half of Season 8, the way you look at it. Robert Kirkman panel was good. Jon Bernthal was good. King Ezekiel was good. So many good information was there. But I braved the rough seas for you guys. I'm back. I didn't get any souvenirs. The merch shop, the t-shirts and stuff were just junk to me, overpriced, not even worth it. So I'll probably talk about another thing about the Walker Stalker Cruise, things I like, things they should change. But I'm probably not going to do a cruise again. It's expensive. It's just a lot of craziness. And it's just not, to me, it's a little much for what you get out of it. So I'll probably stick to the land-based conventions, going to Nashville in May. August is Orlando, and then October is Atlanta. So I'm doing 3 more conventions. Hopefully I'll meet you guys there. on the cruise. It was pretty awesome to meet you. So if I had a chance to meet you on the cruise, I didn't get a couple people's names. They were like, are you PT? Are you the PT channel? I'm like, yes, I am. It was pretty awesome, I have to admit. And if I see you at conventions, come say hello, because I don't know who you are. If you know who I am, I'm a very personal, outgoing, nice guy. I'm not going to say, who are you? Get the heck out of here. But I just don't know if you know me or not. I was looking around. I saw Dee a couple times, and it was pretty cool to talk to her. And it was pretty awesome to see that. I saw her a couple times on the boat and also before we got on. So there's my first quick take on this. This is what I got to come back with. And the picture right here. I got some good video of it, and the panels and the pictures and the photos and the belly flop contest. So stay tuned, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And it's pretty awesome stuff. I'm excited for the videos that we got to share with you. If you couldn't go there, it would be like you're on there, because you'll deal with the wind and the stuff as well. You didn't have to deal with the cold because you were wherever. Maybe you're living in the cold because of winter. But ultimately on the boat, it was a little chilly. So that's me on the take of the Walker Stalker Cruise 2018. Good, bad, and ugly. I have a couple more videos about it, but I'm back safe for you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned and subscribe to the channel to get notifications about the upcoming videos, because I got some good stuff. Thank you for watching, guys.